Dear students, good afternoon. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 7th November 2020. The first article for discussion is Biden, India and Comfort in the World Normal. Remember, Biden is going to take up the office in United States of America as president. Obviously, the bonhomie that was existing between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump is expected to be challenged now. President Trump is silent about Jammu and Kashmir issues or, for that matter, religious freedom related reports. US Commission on International Religious Freedom was very critical of India. And then Democratic Congresswomen like Pramila and Kamala Harris, they were very critical of Indian government on these issues. In this context, the Joe Biden was very liberal and also appreciative of India's plural tradition. Now, he may be critical of these steps of the Modi government. Other than that, the relations more or less are expected to continue normal. Vision for Asia Pacific. This has first come during Obama era. And second, Obama era also pushed India for foundational defense agreements and they got completed during Trump era. And the most important thing is the 2 plus 2 dialogue is already stabilized. India is declared as a major defense partner for United States of America. That's why defense cooperation, I think it is going to be positive. And the next is when we come to the other issues, especially the issues related to trade, understand one point. India is being removed from generalized system of preferences. It is expected that India will be brought back into that. Second, on immigration, Mr. Biden has given many promises to Indians, and with Kamala Harris being the vice president, it is obviously expected that a liberal visa immigration policy is expected. So, a new normal which is created has to get readjusted to the old normal that was existing between India and USA before. And coming to multilateral institutions, Mr. Trump withdrew from various multilateral fora, especially UNESCO, Human Rights Council, World Health Organization, Paris Conference, etc. Mr. Biden has already made it clear that his government is going to be part of Paris Climate Change Agreement. So obviously, multilateralism, rules-based global order is going to get primacy. That is what we can expect. The next article, New Dawn. Biden brings hope, but however, the divides created in the society are expected to continue. Today, there are divides exist between states, between people, and these divides are deep like never before. It is famously said that after the Civil War in the United States of America, the divides between the people are never so deep. So it can be a threat to the democracy itself. Already President Trump declared that he may not be accepting the outcomes of the elections if he do not win the war, and he is stating that election was snatched away from him and it is illegal. In this scenario, as the divides deepen, obviously a country of multiple races, multiple nations is expected to pay a heavy price. That is the first thing. No two people belonging to Democrats and Republicans have common agenda. Either it is on COVID-19 or economic revival, they do not have common agreement. And second, US functions on the basis of checks and balances. In such a system, if legislature is not cooperative with executive, that leads to a situation where a stalemate prevails. A stalemate means you don't see any progress forward. So the checks and balances system, it's going to have a stalemate. Now if you see Senate or Congress, in both Republicans have got the majority. Though President may belong to Democrats, but his life will not be easy. His presidency will not be easy. The same thing has happened to Mr. Obama. It is expected to continue now. Next article, Market Dictates and a Blow Against Equality. Especially people with special needs, that is, marginalized communities or physically or mentally challenged people, they need certain physical aids. These aids have to be made available to them timely in an affordable manner to raise their opportunities and to bring in a sense of equality among them. So, to what extent we can raise the affordability depends upon to what extent we are imposing the taxes on those particular products. In this case, taxing these hearing aids, walking sticks, is not in the principle of social justice and not in accordance with providing opportunities to these people. That is the essence of this particular article. Before GST being imposed, almost all the states have 0% VAT on these supportive devices, but government collecting 5% of GST is going to make affordability difficult. Next is alimony guidelines. In India, the marriage laws are very complex. There is no clarity to the family codes. Because of this, many of the people who wants to separate, they are not getting the divorce on time and they are fighting in the courts for years and years together. That is one dimension. So, law not catching up to society and social change. This is a classical example. So, after globalization and opportunities for women, and the society talking about equality has also led to breaking of the normal family norms, increase in divorce. In this context, the law has to catch up to this change, and it failed to do so in India. The second dimension is there are early marriages in India, and these women are absolutely dependent on husband for their life. In this context, divorce can be devastating to them. They do not have other sources of income for their own sustainability or for the needs of their children. That's where comes the alimony. In this context, the Supreme Court has imposed Article 15 subclause 3 and Article 39. 15 subclause 3, what it says, the Parliament can make special protection or special benefits for women and children and that do not come under inequality. And Article 39 in DPSP clearly states that state can make laws for the welfare of the women and children. Citing Article 15 subclause 3 and 39, Supreme Court stated that the reasonable needs of a woman who is unable to sustain herself has to be met by husband after divorce, which we call as alimony. And second, there are multiple laws under which women are demanding alimony. The Supreme Court also made clear that if alimony is paid as per one law, the woman cannot go to the court under various laws and Indian Penal Code. That is what made clarified. But we need to understand the divorce shall be made simplified in India for the sake of making men and women free from the clutches of marriage if necessary. Next, the price of saying no. A girl, a teenage girl, was killed in daylight in Faridabad in Haryana. It has got the communal color because the girl and the boy, that is, the perpetrator of violence and victim, they belong to different religious communities. Let us keep that politicization aside. Let us try to understand why this violence against women is rising. So, any sense of lack of safety for women will have very worse consequences. They will be dropped from the schools, they may not go to jobs, etc. So, it will have a very negative impact on their empowerment, especially economic independence. Second, why is this happening? All violence starts with stalking the woman. This sexual violence first starts with stalking, and social media has made this stalking easy and worse. So, police have no sensitivity to understand this stalking, especially lack of strong laws to punish stalking is a major problem. If you go to United States of America, there is a law in California. I think California is the first state which made a law which clearly states that stalking is a punishable offense for 3 years. In India, no such a law exists. Second, among the parents, for the future of their children or for protecting the privacy of the girl child, they don't want to take the case forward. They want to compromise and get the cases closed. And movie industry also projects this kind of stalking as heroism, masochism, etc. This all have to be stopped. The gender sensitization has to be a part of either it is movie industry or police or in raising kids. This is essential to make this crime to go away. No law will be supportive unless the society starts making a change for itself. That is the take home point. Next, India won't accept shifting of line of actual control. The standoff is continuing even in this winter in Ladakh. In this context, Chief of Defence Staff has clearly stated that the LAC will not be changed and status quo ante is the only way forward. Second thing, on security front, he also stated that proxy war from Pakistan and cooperation between two nuclear neighbors, this is what is making internal security situation complex. And third point he stated in this article is this: India has made a new normal in its relations with Pakistan after Uri attack and the Balakot 8 strikes. These are the points. Next is Finance Panel warns of rising GST dues to states. What 15th Finance Commission observed is the dues of the center to the states for GST compensation will be to the tune of 5 to 7 lakh crore rupees by June 2022. And the second thing what it is stated is center has asked or given certain terms of reference which are very new. One is the question of creating a separate mechanism for funding defense and internal security. And second, creation of non-lapsable security related funding. Like this, it has requested for certain recommendations. And the report is submitted to the President of India. Let us wait and see what are the highlights of it tomorrow. Meet targets to get air pollution funds. Here, National Clean Air Program. It is part of India's program to reduce air pollution. What is the target? In 102 cities, it is aimed to reduce the pollution by 20 to 30% by 2024. The reference year being 2017. In this case, 4,400 crore rupees is allocated to this. The finance ministry released only 50% of the funds and stated that the remaining will be released once they meet the necessary targets. So center is giving tied funds, target centric funds to the states. That is the take home point. In this case, National Clean Air Program can stand as your example. Greenko, Italy's Snam, to collaborate on green hydrogen. You need to understand the utility of green hydrogen. It is a multifunctional gas. It can be used as a feedstock, fuel, or an energy carrier, or as a storage solution. So that's why green hydrogen is going to be the future of energy industry, renewable industry. 450 gigawatts of renewable energy is the target for India by 2030. That's why the focus is on green hydrogen. So these are the articles for today. Thank you very much. Have a great day.